Hey everyone, today we're diving deep into a topic that, let's be honest, can be kind of confusing for just about every pet owner out there: dental care. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by all the different products and advice, you are definitely in the right place. We're going to cut through the noise and break down the real science behind keeping your pet's teeth healthy right at home.
So, let me ask you something right off the bat. When you take your dog or cat to the vet for their annual checkup, what do you think is the single most common health issue they find? Is it fleas? Maybe weight problems? What do you think? Well, the answer is probably not what you'd guess.
It's dental disease. A whopping 85% of pets over the age of 5 are dealing with some form of it. Just let that sink in for a second. That is a massive, often hidden health crisis affecting the vast majority of our furry family members. And we call it a silent epidemic for a very good reason. Pets are masters at hiding pain, so it often goes completely unnoticed by owners until it's already become a pretty serious problem, causing real discomfort and affecting their overall health in ways you might not even realize. And it's so important to understand this goes way, way beyond just a case of doggy breath. That smell is actually a symptom of a much bigger issue. The bacteria festering in your pet's mouth can literally get into their bloodstream, potentially causing some serious trouble for their heart, kidneys, and liver. It's a full-body inflammatory disease. So to figure out how to fight this, we first have to really understand the enemy. And the real enemy, the root of all this trouble, is a little something called plaque. Okay, so this slide breaks down the key difference between plaque and tartar. Think of plaque as this soft, sticky, invisible film of bacteria that forms on teeth every single day. It's the gunk you can actually get rid of with brushing or even just chewing on the right things. But if you leave it alone, that plaque hardens and mineralizes into tartar. And tartar is like concrete. It's chemically bonded to the tooth, and the only way to get it off is with a professional cleaning at the vet. So our whole goal with at-home care is to get rid of that plaque before it turns into tartar. All right, so how do we do that? Well, the first and probably most obvious method is what we'll call the mechanical scrub. Literally, physically scraping that nasty plaque right off the teeth. Now, this can be done in a few key ways: through special dental diets, all kinds of dental chews, and, for our dogs, one of nature's oldest tools, raw bones. Let's take a look at what the science says about each one. First up, diet. It turns out the texture of your pet's food really, really matters. A study on cats, for example, found that the abrasive texture of dry kibble did a much better job of keeping their hard-to-reach back teeth clean compared to soft, wet food. So yeah, that simple crunching action can make a huge difference. Now for dogs, we have an even more powerful tool in our arsenal. Raw bones really are nature's toothbrush. The act of gnawing and tearing and scraping provides this incredible mechanical cleaning it's really hard to replicate with anything else. And the data on how well they work is, frankly, amazing. A study published in a vet journal had beagles chew on raw bones, and the results are right here on this slide. In just 3 days, they saw over a 56% reduction in tartar. By day 12, it was over 80%. And by day 20, almost an 88% reduction. The evidence is just crystal clear. This method works, and wow, does it work fast. But, and this is a big but, safety here is absolutely non-negotiable. You have to follow these rules, no exceptions. Number 1, always supervise your dog. 2, pick a bone that's the right size for them, not too big, not too small. 3, and this is critical, never give them cooked bones. They become brittle and can splinter. And finally, because they're raw, you should toss them after a few days. So you walk into a pet store and there are a million products claiming to be great for your pet's teeth. How do you know what actually works? Well, your best friend in this fight is this seal. From the Veterinary Oral Health Council, or VOHC. Think of them as an independent reviewer. They look at a company's scientific data, and only if a product truly proves it can effectively control plaque or tartar does it get to wear this seal of acceptance. It's your shortcut through all the marketing hype. And the great news is there are VOHC-accepted products in pretty much every category you can think of, for both dogs and cats. We're talking special diets, tons of different chews, and even things that work in a completely different way. Which brings us to our second major strategy: the chemical approach. Now, these are products that don't rely on scraping or chewing at all. Instead, they use active ingredients to fight plaque and improve the health of the gums right at the source. Take water additives, for example. One clinical study looked at a VOHC-accepted additive made with pomegranate extract. After just 30 days, the dogs that got the additive in their water had way less plaque than the other dogs, a 47% reduction in the median score. And all you have to do is add it to their water bowl. It is that simple. But here's what's even more impressive. Check out what it did for gum health. The gingival bleeding index, which is just a fancy way of measuring gum inflammation and bleeding, dropped to 0 in the group using the water additive. 100% reduction. This shows it's not just cleaning the surface of the teeth, it's actively healing the gums, which is the whole point of fighting periodontal disease. Okay, so we've covered the mechanical scrub and the chemical approach. How in the world do we put all this information together into a routine that's practical, effective, and that you can actually stick with? This table basically summarizes our whole toolkit. We've got mechanical options like dental diets and chews, and of course the powerhouse effect of raw bones for dogs. Then we have chemical options like water additives that work behind the scenes to reduce plaque and heal gums. And of course, we can't forget daily toothbrushing, which is and always will be the absolute gold standard for getting rid of that daily film of plaque. And this brings us to maybe the single most important takeaway from all of this. You don't have to just pick one. In fact, the most effective plan is almost always a combination. Think of it like a good, better, best strategy. A good start is introducing a daily VOHC-approved dental chew. Better is maybe adding a water additive on top of that. And the best possible defense, the gold standard, brings in daily brushing too. Layering these methods gives you the strongest possible shield against dental disease. Ultimately, every single pet is an individual. So the question I want to leave you with is this. Looking at all these options, from chews and special diets to raw bones and water additives, what's the first step you're going to talk about with your vet to build a dental plan that's perfect for your best friend? Because the power to stop this silent epidemic is truly in your hands.